Prabhuji ki, Srimati Radha Maharani ki. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivargacharya Ashtatar Sadasri His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivargacharya Ashtatar Sadasri His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj ki. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की. वृंदावन धाम की, मथुरा धाम की, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की, बरसाना धाम की, नंदग्राम की, गंगा माई की, यमुना माई की, भक्तिदेव तुलसी महारानी की, समावेद भक्त वृंद की. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna everyone, once again wish you a very happy Radhaastami. There is some echo. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So, on this very special occasion of Sri Radhaastami, the appearance day of Srimati Radharani, I thought of sharing one meditation that we can take home, that we can practice a bit now. So please, you can repeat after me. Vina Radha Prasadena Mama Kripa na labhyate. Vina Radha Prasadena Mama Kripa na labhyate. Vina Radha Prasadena Mama Kripa na labhyate. Someone can say. Let's try to remember this. So I repeat again. Vina Radha Prasadena Vina Radha Prasadena Mama Kripa na labhyate. Mama Kripa na labhyate. Now someone can try. Vina Radha Prasadena Mama Kripa na labhyate. I'm just following you. Someone can say. Vina Radha Prasadena Vina Radha Prasadena Mama Kripa na labhyate. Once again. Vina Radha Prasadena Mama Kripa na labhyate. Okay. So I hope we repeat time to time so that we can remember this. As you most of you already have understood it, we can see here Krishna is saying that Vina Radha Prasadena. Prasadena means the mercy of whom? Radha. And Vina means without. Without the mercy of Srimati Radharani, Mama Kripa na labhyate. And Kripa is also mercy. So, how many of us are here who are really eager to receive the mercy of the Lord. Some have lifted 2 hands, so they get more. How nice if we are like 4 hands, 8 hands, 16 hands. Because today is a special day where Radharani is saying, who is that? Who is so eager to get the mercy of Krishna? Other than that, Srimati Radharani is non-different from Krishna. It's very interesting. We can see that Krishna is one. That's why when Srila Prabhupada has established this society, he explicitly mentioned International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He didn't mention International Society for Radha Krishna Consciousness. Still, we can see that in every temple that want to speak about hardcore materialists in the past have declared that Radharani is superficial. There is no character like Radharani. It is maybe after only Jayadev Goswami, when he has written these wonderful poems, then he has injected Radha or Gopis. I think your blood is already boiling. How can someone say that there is no Radharani? Our whole devotion is lying in the hands of Radharani. It's very, very difficult to understand about the greatness of Srimati Radharani. Why? Because when we do not have the vision, what is the purpose of exposing such transcendental knowledge? When we want to see the Lord through our senses, it's not possible. Is it too far? It's too echo. Like this is okay? Perfect? Okay. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, there is this aprakrita vastu nahe prakata gochara. That which is transcendental cannot be seen with the material senses. Veda Puranete ekaha nirantar. So this is not something new, just to say, okay, to cover up. But this is the essence of the Vedas. Hare Krishna. And for that matter, we have been appreciating the Lord as divine couple in the form of, let's say, Shiva and Parvati. We know that there is scriptures which are mentioning about their wonderful marriage, wedding. Or it is Lakshmi Narayan. And when we talk about Ganeshji, Siddhi and Buddhi. So we see that Lord and his consorts are legally, legitimately married. Whereas when it comes to Lord Krishna, unlike Lord Ramchandra, where we see he is having only one wife, we see here Krishna is with many, many gopikas. How to understand that? Because we have been trained from our childhood how to be very, very dharmic. Dharmic means to be very loyal to the wedding sanskar. But then we see Krishna is an amazing personality we can't understand. And then some speculators can easily minute the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, and even do not trust that there is a very, very special personality, Srimati Radharani. So today I am trying to help out myself to speak something which can make it clear that in fact Sri Krishna is the Supreme Person of Godhead, and definitely there is a very, very valid relationship between Krishna and gopis. And with that, automatically we can understand that Srimati Radharani and all the gopis are also spotless, so that we don't go on to hear about very, very exalted subject like Raasa Lila, very, very cheap. Because Sukadev Goswami, when he was speaking to Parikshit Maharaj about Srimad Bhagavatam, when he was speaking Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto, we see there are 5 chapters, and they are said to be the heart or the life, not even heart. They said it's at the Pran, the life of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah? We know that Vedic way of seeing everything is personified. When we see Srimad Bhagavata Purusha, yeah, in the form of Bhagavat as a person, the heart of Bhagavatam is that 5 chapters, and interestingly, very interestingly, it is speaking only about Krishna and his dealings between wife and husband or between opposite genders. That's why for us it might be very difficult to understand why such, which is life of Bhagavatam, is Raasa Lila. And usually we often come across Srila Prabhupada mentioning that these subjects are very, very sensitive. Usually, unless one is going gradually through Srimad Bhagavatam canto by canto, 1, 2, 3, and when one comes to see that Srimad Bhagavatam is offering, especially these 5 chapters, a very, very important understanding about the greatness of the gopis. How many of us are eager to know that while not getting disturbed? Because usually when we talk about Raasa Lila topic, yeah, it's quite sensitive. No, Sudama Prabhu, you should stop it. Is someone telling? Then I can stop. Do we want to see the message of Raasa Lila to us? It is just because people like me exist. That's why Parikshit Maharaj asked some question, which I will ask in the end. I'll read that in the end. By then we should, I hope, and get an understanding of this very important subject. While coming, Vibha was asking, are you going to talk about a story or philosophy? I said, philosophy. Or what? He said, you can mix philosophy and story so that we can understand philosophy better. So Raasa Lila is also a story, but it has the topmost philosophy. Topmost philosophy even kids can understand. Only thing is, we should have the care that we need. We should avoid those verses that can agitate our mind and go to those verses which can enlighten our mind. So I'll try to go through that from the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, chapter 29. So once on the Sharad Purnima, this is On a Sharad Purnima evening, Lord Krishna on the bank of Yamuna, he is playing his wonderful flute. And when Krishna is playing this flute, it is said that the gopis who were present at home, some were with their husband, some were with their brother, some were with their parents, some were doing something. Like someone, it is said that someone is boiling milk, someone is putting the milk on the stove, someone is taking out the milk after it's boiled. In that way, everyone is engaged in service. But as soon as when they heard Krishna's flute, some they immediately forgot themselves, what they are doing. The flute was so deep that it went straight into the heart. It was like a deep call. We may also experience, if there is very nice music that is played, we may see, wow, so nice, let me go and sit sometime. But it is still not a mundane material music that Krishna is playing on the flute. In fact, it is said that at that moment they forgot all whatever they are doing. They started connecting Krishna inside, within, and they were so much deeply connected they even left their life. And then some could not resist anymore. Yeah, this is a call. It might be that they have been waiting. They have been waiting, and when one completely loses control of his own senses, then what happens is we are just dragged. We are just all the gopis who were attracted to the flute of Krishna. They left everything. They left their husband, brothers, and all these things. They didn't even care. They didn't care the social order, society, all these things. What will people think? They just left the place. They went just carried away where Krishna is playing the flute. After all that, Krishna is surprised and says, "Hey, what is that? Huh? It's evening. Huh? This is not the time that usually gopis are outside their home." He said, "Please go back to your home." What would be the situation of the gopis? They thought that Krishna will take them forever so that they don't have to go back and justify everything. They don't care, right? But in spite of all this, they have bashed that aside and then they have come. And now Krishna is saying this. It was very, very difficult for them. They started saying, "Krishna, after all, we came only for you." And here is already one important point. The gopis, they didn't go to Krishna so that they can have a great time. They wanted to give Krishna a great time. So we see this chapter 29 is talking about how Krishna and gopis, they meet. Interesting part comes after Krishna understands, okay, in fact, you have proved that you are great in exchanging love than me. Your love is superior. Just to prove that, I have just said go back, but you didn't care and you still wanted to stay here. So through this, I want to say the Gopikas have great bhava. They are even greater than my own love. Persons who constantly direct their lust, anger, fear, protective affection, feeling of impersonal oneness or friendship towards Lord Hari are sure to become absorbed in thought of him. In that, Sri Madhvacharya then quotes from Padma Puran to clarify the essential point that One cannot be liberated simply by lusting after Lord Krishna, but rather only by possessing conjugal attraction in pure devotional service. Sneha Bhakta Sada Deva. The demigods are always affectionately devoted to the Lord. And the young ladies of heaven, called Apsaras, have lusty feelings towards him. Although some of them have pure devotion for him, untainted by material lust, only these latter Apsaras are ready for liberation. Thus, devotional service is not yogyam or appropriate unless free from material lust. So, this is what Krishna was saying, that the gopis are completely free from lust. And then he's saying, you should not be astonished by Krishna that the unborn master of all masters of mystic power, the Supreme Person of Godhead, after all, it is the Lord who liberates this world. So, it goes further. Now you have seen this Vrindavan forest full of flowers and resplendent with light of full moon. You have seen the beauty of the trees with their leaves trembling in the gentle breeze coming from the Yamuna. So now go back to the cowherd village. Don't delay, O chaste ladies. Serve your husbands and give milk to your crying babies and calves. This is what he says. On the other hand, perhaps you have come here out of your great love for me, which has taken control of your hearts. This is, of course, quite commendable on your part, since all living entities possess natural affection for me. The highest religious duty of a woman is to sincerely serve her husband, behave well towards her husband's family, and take good care of her children. So, saying all these things, then the gopis, they're just saying, we are helpless. Sri Gopya Uvacha. The beautiful gopi said, O all powerful one, you should not speak in this cruel way. Do not reject us, who have renounced all material enjoyment to render devotional service to your lotus feet. Reciprocate with us, O stubborn one, just as the primeval Lord, Sri Narayan, reciprocates with his devotees in their endeavors for liberation. Our dear Krishna, as an expert in religion, you have advised us that the proper religious duty for women is to faithfully serve their husbands, children, and other relatives. We agree that this principle is valid, but actually, this service should be rendered to you. After all, O Lord, you are the dearmost friend of all embodied souls. You are their most intimate relative and indeed their very self. We know that the Lord is called Jagatpati. We know. Jagat means universe. And everything that is in the universe is also part of the universe. Isn't it? So, which means everything that is created, who is the Pati? Krishna. So the gopis are establishing the higher meaning that whatever you have said, husband, okay, that's fine, but you are our husband. Why? Because you are their most intimate relative and indeed their very self. In fact, Krishna is also addressed as Pranapati, Prananath. So, expert transcendentalists always direct their affection towards you because they recognize you as their true self and eternal beloved. What use do we have for these husbands, children, and relatives of ours who simply give us trouble? The gopis are saying, taking the advocate, what do we call this? Position to speak on our behalf. They are saying that, okay, materialist, we know that the relationship between wife, children, father, and all these things, they give trouble. Therefore, oh, Supreme Controller, grant us your mercy. Dear Krishna, please poured the nectar of your lips upon the fire within our hearts. And from here, it goes more deeper. They are expressing their desire that we have left everything. We want to serve you. Now, engage us in your service. And finally, Krishna accepts. And then what happens is, while everything was, the conjugal pastimes are going on, all of a sudden Krishna disappears from the place. First of all, they have left everything. They have convinced Krishna to be, that they can serve him. And while everything is going on, all of a sudden Krishna disappeared. Acharyas say why Krishna disappeared is because some gopis had the bhav that finally we made it. Finally we managed to convince Krishna. So, but in fact it is Krishna's mercy that he wanted to show, if I would like to offer myself or take your service, it is me. So when this feeling of that I did it because of me, then Krishna disappeared. And then the gopis are searching. There is whole description about where they are searching, and then we come to the point where they finally, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, when they are saying, okay, they are asking the flowers, they are asking the hill, they are asking everything they could find, they were asking. And these are the thoughts of the gopis. Now just usually we don't ask, right? If we lost something, we don't just ask the tree, can you say where is my lost iPhone, right? We usually ask someone. But here we see Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying the thoughts of the gopis as follows. Perhaps the trees and plants did not hear our question because they were in trance, meditating on Lord Vishnu, or perhaps since they did not, they will not tell us where Krishna has gone. They are hard-hearted, even though they live in a holy place. So this is the feelings about the trees. The gopis are thinking, hey, what is this? The trees are not responding. Why are they not saying? Are they hard-hearted or they are deep in meditation? Oh friend, wife of the deer, has Lord Achyuta been here with his beloved, bringing great joy to your eyes? Anyway, this is still, it's inquiring about Krishna. We come to this is very important. In the 10th canto, 30th chapter, verse 28 is the verse where we see there is an indirect reference of Srimati Radharani name. Usually when we are talking about the Raasa Lila and how is it that there is no Radharani mentioned, Sukadeva Goswami is very carefully avoiding the name of Radharani, where he actually is referring all the gopis. He is not mentioning about the gopis explicitly by name, but he is telling each of the gopi what they are doing. And here it is Anaya Radhito Noonam Bhagavan Harir Ishvara Yenno Vihaya Govinda Pritoyam Anayat Raha. Certainly this particular gopi has perfectly worshipped the all-powerful personality of Godhead Govinda, since he was so pleased with her that he abandoned the rest of us and brought her to a secluded place. In the purport, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is mentioning, he is providing the references from Sri Ujjvala, Nilamani, and etc. to mention. And why didn't Sukadeva Goswami mention Radha directly is, or why he didn't say Radha directly is, we know that Sukadeva Goswami is Mahabhagavat, and not only that, he is great transcendentalist. One who has attained such a highest position of transcendence, when they hear the name of Radha, they go in trance. And if Sukadeva Goswami would have gone into trance, Bhagavatam would have ended at 10:30:28, or for that matter, wherever Sukadeva Goswami would have taken Radharani name. What is the praman for this? The praman is in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Parikshit Maharaj is telling to Uttara, his mother, that my spiritual master Sukadeva Goswami has very, very nicely narrated Srimad Bhagavatam, so nice, and he carefully avoided to take the name of Radha, because if he takes, then he gets in trance and his plan for offering Srimad Bhagavatam would be disrupted. This is what is said in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So we go further. The gopis finally they are searching, and then what happened? After they inquired a lot, then finally it comes that she cried out, "O Master, O Lover, O dear most, where are you? Where are you? Please, O mighty Amman, O friend, show yourself to me, your poor servant." Again, in the purport, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes the following moving exchange. Radha says, "My Lord, I have been burned in the great fire of separation from you, and my life air is about to leave my body. Even with the greatest endeavor, I cannot maintain my life." But still the gopis are maintaining their life in spite of such a great pain in separation of Krishna. Why? Because if they leave the world, if they leave the body, it causes immense pain to Krishna. Just imagine if someone very, very dear to us, and if such a person out of separation, if he leaves the world, it becomes, hey, for me, and it becomes unbearable. So that's why they somehow or the other, they maintain their life. Sri Sukha Uvacha here says, while continuing to search out Krishna's path, the gopis discovered their unhappy friend close by. She was bewildered by separation from her lover. And then she told them how Madhava had given her much respect, but how she then suffered dishonor because of her misbehavior. This is what is the misbehavior, that the gopis were extremely amazed to hear this. And finally, Krishna appears. There is this whole Gopi Geet, which is great emotions that they are sharing. There is also this how Krishna, how can we serve you? We are missing you, and all these things. And then comes a very important chapter 32. I'm just going very quick, and also what I would like to know. It is, Sukadeva Goswami said, "O king, having thus sung and spoken their hearts out in various charming ways, the gopis began to weep loudly. They were very eager to see Lord Krishna. Then Lord Krishna, a smile on his lotus face, appeared before the gopis. Wearing a garland and a yellow garment, he directly appeared as one who can bewilder the mind of Cupid, who himself bewilders the minds of ordinary people." Sukadeva Goswami is saying, Sakshan Manmada Manmadaha. So, one who is bewildering Manmada, who is Cupid. When the gopis saw that their dearmost Krishna had returned to them, they all stood up at once, and out of their affection for him, their eyes bloomed wide. It was as if the air of life has re-entered their bodies. One gopi joyfully took Krishna's hand between her fold palms, and another placed his arm, anointed with sandalwood paste, on his shoulder, and then they started giving service to Krishna. It went nice, where one gopi asked a very, very interesting question, and I would say it's really, really interesting question, because if we understand this, then we understand Raasa Lila. Ready? This is the question that gopis are asking. The gopi said, some people reciprocate the affection only of those who are affectionate towards them, while others show affection even to those who are indifferent or inimical. And yet others will not show affection towards anyone. Dear Krishna, please properly explain this matter to us. Three kinds of people the gopis are asking. Interestingly, why? Because Krishna, in spite that the gopis have come, left everything to meet Krishna, to offer themselves, Krishna disappeared. After singing, after crying, and these tears brought Krishna back, after Krishna was served, gopis are asking this question, which is very, very, they want to ask, what did you do actually? Why did you do this? Purport. By this apparently polite question, the gopis want to expose Lord Krishna's failure to properly reciprocate their love. That's why they are asking this question. They were very disturbed when Sri Krishna left them in the forest, and they want to know why he caused them to suffer in these loving affairs. Isn't it? After all, they came to offer their love, and how can someone go away? So that's why, in a very, very polite, gentle way, because Mardhavam, gentleness is the quality of devotees. The gopis, out of gentleness, but still very politely have asked this question. Do we want to know what Krishna said? Yes? That is the essence. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, so-called friends who show affection for each other only to benefit themselves are actually selfish. Friend, this kind of friendship so that I can get is selfish friendship. They have no true friendship, nor are they following the true principles of religion. Indeed, if they do not expect benefit for themselves, they would not reciprocate. When gopis have politely asked Krishna, Krishna has also, he's saying, hey, do you know why I left you people? The answer can be here, find it out. He's telling to gopis, maybe that you were selfish. Maybe because you were selfish, that's why I have to disappear. Or the Lord here reminds the gopis that in the pure loving friendship, there is no sense of selfish interest, but rather only love of one's friend. So even if I am there or not, if I come or not, if I be present or disappear, your love should be there. That is true love. If you really love me, that should be the way. But he didn't elaborate like how Prabhupada mentions in the purport, and the gopis definitely are ever cognizant. And then he's saying, and next category, some people are genuinely merciful or like parents, naturally affectionate. Such persons who devotedly serve even those who fail to reciprocate with them are following the true faultless path of religion, and they are true well-wishers. So who are real friends? Who are like parents who have natural affection. They are not seeing whether there is reciprocation from the kids or not. They just want to give, and that is dharma, that is the religion, and they are true well-wishers. Now comes the third, and now this can help us understand why some devotees behave strange, why I see some people are like different. This Krishna is helping us to understand. Then there are those individuals who are spiritually self-satisfied, who are self-satisfied, materially fulfilled, or by nature ungrateful or simply envious of superiors. So again, one is who are already spiritually satisfied, like yogis. If they are yogis, if you want to offer something, they don't need it. Why will they make friendship? They are self-realized, they know the goal, they always want to serve the Lord. Spiritually self-realized, materially fulfilled. Yeah, just imagine there is a very rich person, and if you want to say, I want to offer you some money, he says, what should I do? I have enough. One who has everything, if you want to make friendship, he may not be interested. Or by nature, ungrateful or simply envious of superiors. Ungrateful means, though you have done so much, you have done so many things to that person, as if like you have sacrificed everything for that person, but he is ungrateful. He doesn't know that, oh, I need to reciprocate. Because he's thinking, hey, I don't have to, he doesn't feel that I'm indebted. When such a person is feeling that, why will he make friendship? And then the last one is simply envious of superiors. If someone is envious of superiors, yo, he is great, but I think I am greater than him. Only thing is he is getting fame. I should get it. Why? Because I did so many things. Only thing is I am not superior. So, such persons will not love even those who love them. What to speak of those who are inimical? Forget about if some enemies. Even if one is loving such a person, the person doesn't love such a person. Purport. Some people, being spiritually self-satisfied, do not reciprocate others' affection because they want to avoid entanglement in mundane dealings. Don't disturb me, Baba, I am already busy. I have already understood what is the secret of life. I don't want to become Jada Bharat. It's quite dangerous. So let me not make friendship with anyone. Please leave me like that. Other persons do not reciprocate simply out of envy or arrogance. Why friendship? Why do I need you? What will I gain? Rather, I am losing something, my time. I have to give you something. And still others fail to reciprocate because they are materially satisfied and thus uninterested in new material opportunities. Lord Krishna patiently explained all these things to the gopis. Why? The next verse, I think you already have it. But the reason I do not immediately reciprocate the affection of living beings, even when they worship me. This is what Krishna is telling. Why he dealt with gopis like that? Do we want to know? Yeah? Do we want to know why Krishna is not listening to our voice? We are calling him, but he is not turning to us. Why? Anyone felt like that? We are not heard. How many years? How many times? Krishna is saying, but the reason I do not immediately reciprocate the affection of living entities even when they worship me, O gopis, example gopis, is that I want to intensify their loving devotion. What happens? In the Vipralamba Bhav, what happens? The love is enhanced, intensified. For that matter, we can see that Krishna in the transcendental realm, there is nothing like Parakiya Ras. We know that there is Swakiya and Parakiya, two kinds of relationship the Lord has. In the spiritual world, there is only one. But to enjoy the love which is intensified by Parakiya Ras, again, only when we can understand what it really means, then we may appreciate. For now, still we are seeing that Krishna is saying, O gopis, is that I want to intensify their loving devotion. So he's not telling I want to intensify your loving devotion. He's saying to those devotees who are loving the Lord and who are serving the Lord, still when they don't see why I am still not getting a call from Krishna, he wants to see our love more and more and more. And how can we increase our love more and more? When we can purify ourselves more and more. And how can we purify ourselves more? When we follow in the footsteps of Srimati Radharani. Because she is the personification of the purest form of love that Lord Krishna is. What's happening? That he can relish. In fact, Krishna is saying that the love that gopis are relishing is beyond or even greater than mine. For that's the reason why Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I see that Radharani is so beautiful, so attractive, so loving. What would it be to be a devotee like her? Always serving, yeah? Because just imagine a person is always being served. He's saying that, but Preeti Ashraya is better. Means one who is giving this are experiencing more happiness. So let me experience that. So that's why Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To just understand, to just enjoy, relish the bhav of Radharani. So Krishna is saying, but the reason I do not immediately reciprocate the affection of living beings even when they worship me is I want to intensify their loving devotion. So we don't have to complain ourselves. We don't have to become, what is that? We don't have to procrastinate ourselves that, hey, I am hopeless. Oh, I have no more. I have been waiting. It's been 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. We see that in the purport. Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. As people approach me, I reciprocate with them accordingly. Yet even if Lord is approached by someone with devotion, it intensifies the devotee's love. The Lord may not immediately reciprocate fully. But then what happens is, when the Lord cannot reciprocate fully, he becomes indebted. First of all, Lord is saying, okay, I want to see very intense love. And when it becomes too intense, he becomes so indebted. And then there are these wonderful, these books written by His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, the glories and pastimes of Radharani. And then he enacts wonderful pastimes with devotees, the gopis in Vrindavan. When we can understand this philosophy, then we can understand these pastimes. And then it goes further. Therefore, the Lord's so-called neglect is actually the fulfillment of devotee's prayer. What is devotee praying? What do we pray? We are praying to the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In that prayer, please help me to love you purely. This is very simple prayer. What we want is that we want to love you purely. And this is what is our prayer. And that's why the Lord intensifies our love for Him by apparently separating Himself from us. And the result is that we achieve what we really wanted and pray for intense love for the absolute truth. According to the Acharyas, as Lord Krishna began to speak this verse, the gopis looked at one another with squinting eyes, trying to hide the smiles breaking out on their faces. Huh? See, Krishna is a great trickster. Wonderful Krishna. Why? He just said, hey gopis, I am so much attracted by your love. I just wanted to intensify that. That's why I disappeared. Even as Lord Krishna was speaking, the gopis had begun to realize that he was bringing them to the highest perfection of loving service. Rishikumar Prabhu, I have time or something? I have. My dear girls, understanding that simply for my sake you had rejected the authority of worldly opinion of the Vedas and of your relatives, I acted as I did only to increase your attachment to me. Even when I removed myself from your side by suddenly disappearing, I never stopped loving you. It is not that Lord has left because he had lost interest. We may lose interest because our dealings are mundane. Therefore, my beloved gopis, please do not harbor any bad feelings towards me, your beloved. Krishna is also saying, hey, please don't get dejected and whatever you have spoken very politely, but actually. So, purport. Here the Lord indicates that though the gopis were already perfect in their love for Him, still to inconceivably increase their perfection and show an example for the world, He acted as He did. And the last of this chapter, sorry. I am not able to repay my debt for your spotless service even within a lifetime of Brahma. Your connection with me is beyond reproach. You have worshipped me, cutting off all domestic ties which are difficult to break. Therefore, please let your own glorious deeds be your compensation. He is saying, what did he say? I can't repay. My debt for your spotless service, I cannot repay. The only way is, you have done such a great sacrifice and came to offer yourself. That glory, please accept that as compensation. And then there is the next chapter, 33, which is talking about Raasa dance. Maybe we may not have to go into that subject, but so far we can still understand that even in this episode of separation, reunion, we can see why Krishna is doing. Is it just mundane? Is it just like, okay, there is a man, there is a girl, and they are coming together, they are going and enjoying? And no, we can see here so much bhav is there. The only thing is we don't want to go into this because we have to still elevate our consciousness. How can we do that? By chanting the name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, offenselessly. Yeah, that is very important, so that we can offer our prayers. We can take the name of the holy name, the power of it, and then one may ask the question: if Krishna has such a great love, and he had so many gopis, why can't we have? Why only Krishna can have many? Why can't we have? Have anyone heard such questions? No one heard? Anyone had such questions? No one had? Very nice devotees. Parikshit Maharaj is asking for our benefit in the next chapter. I will take only two verses. Two verses. Okay, I'll try to finish in one verse. Parikshit Maharaj said, O Brahmana, the Supreme Person of Godhead, the Lord, by the way, this is 33, 26, 7, 26 and 7. Parikshit Maharaj said, O Brahman, the Supreme Person of Godhead, Lord of the universe, has descended to this earth along with his plenary portion to destroy irreligion, right? Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge. He came to establish religion, and such a Lord, how can he do this? So Parikshit Maharaj is asking, after hearing everything, he is asking this. To destroy irreligion and re-establish religious principles. Indeed, he is the original speaker, follower and guardian of moral laws. Everything, the Vedas came from him. How then could he have violated them by touching other men's wives? Still anyone have this question? Still there, right? So otherwise, as Sukadev Goswami was speaking, King Parikshit noticed that some person seated in the assembly on the bank of Ganges were harboring doubt about Lord's activities. Come on, when we are envious of Lord's position, we can have this question in spite of all logic, all those previous verses. No. How can Lord have? How can Krishna have so many wives? In fact, I had a colleague who said, I hate Krishna. Why? Because, how can he have so many girlfriends? The question is here. How can he break the law? These doubtful persons were karmis, jnanis, not only karmis, jnanis, and others who were not devotees of the Lord. If we have this question, it means that we are not devotees. Now, if you want to be devotees, let's forget this question. To clear up their doubts, King Parikshit asked this question on their behalf. O faithful upholder of vows, please destroy our doubt by explaining to us what purpose the self-satisfied Lord of the Yadus had in mind when he behaved so contemptibly. How can he do? It is said that we should follow what Lord does. And Krishna is doing this, shall we also follow? There is also next question coming. It is clear to the enlightened that these doubts will arise from persons unfamiliar with the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Therefore, since time immemorial, great sages and enlightened kings like Parikshit Maharaj have openly raised these questions to provide the authoritative answer for all posterity. What is the answer? Sukadev Goswami is saying, the status of powerful controllers is not harmed by any apparently odious transgression of morality we may see in them. Again, I repeat again. The status of powerful controllers, the status of there is not harmed by any apparently, if we cannot understand, doesn't mean that is wrong. That is the essence. Apparently odious transgression of morality we may see in them, for they are just like fire, which devours everything fed into it and remains unpolluted. Fire can never be polluted. We know that fire, we put the sticks on a dead body and then we burn the body, and when we burn the body, the fire doesn't go into Ganges and take a bath. The fire is still pure. And the fire, when fire is used for the yajnas, the fire is not getting any credit. It is not that, oh, someone is pouring ghee into me, the fire is becoming bigger and bigger. No credit to the fire. In the purport, a fire devours all that is fed into it, but the fire does not change its nature. Similarly, a great personality does not fall from his position by an irregularity in behavior. In the following verse, however, Sukadeva Goswami makes it clear that if we try to imitate, what will happen? The great personality ruling the universe, the result will be catastrophic. That is in the purport. What is one who is not a great controller should never imitate. Krishna is Yogeshwar. We know in Mahabharata what Bhishma Dev declares, Krishna is Yogeshwar. Isn't it? Today when I was putting the chadar, I was not sure which side should I put the chadar. Because for grihasthas it should be this side, for sannyasis it should be this side. So I don't know, because Krishna is glorified, that he is fully renunciant. We know that Bhagavan, one of the qualities is most renunciant. And then he has gopis, he has wives. Very, very difficult to understand. One who is not a great controller should never imitate the behavior of the ruling personality, even mentally. If out of foolishness an ordinary person does, he says, because Lord Shiva has drunk poison, and if I would drink poison, what will happen? Sukadeva Goswami is saying just that. He is saying, if out of foolishness an ordinary person does imitate such behavior, he will simply destroy himself, just as a person who is not Rudra would destroy himself if he tried to drink an ocean of poison. Anyway, I'll stop here, but yeah. I'll just end reading one part. Yeah. I think Rishi Kumar Prabhu may like it. That's why. Only for him. This is what, because we are in Gauradesh, that's why I was thinking, like how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu celebrated Radhaastami. Just 1/2 page. Reading. No explaining. No explain. Just reading. No, it's not in Bhagavatam. It is in the Narharidas Thakur. He has Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's disciple. He has written. Yeah, Mahaprabhu observes Radhaastami in the home of Pundarik Vidyanidhi, written by Sri Narhar Chakravarti Thakur in Sri Bhakti Ratnakar. Okay, just absorb. I'll just continue reading, no breaks. One day, with a smile, the son of Mother Sachi told Pundarik Vidyanidhi Prabhu, tomorrow we shall observe the birthday celebration of Sri Radhika in your house. Vidyanidhi was overjoyed hearing this news. He rushed to his house to arrange everything for the festival. The next day, Prabhu came to house of Vidyanidhi with his associates and followers, sat down in their midst and performed the Janma Abhishek, bathing ceremony of Sri Radhika on her birthday. What can I say about the emotions Mahaprabhu exhibited at that time? Today, Gaurachandra, in the dress of a cowherd boy, accompanied by his associates, gradually became completely overwhelmed with loving mellows. And then, the son of Sachi laughed, moved to and fro, and looked towards Gadadhar, while tears of ecstasy streamed from his two eyes. Greatly delighted, Mukunda, Madhava, and Vasu sing the pastimes of Radhika birth. The sounds of Mridanga and Kartal made the whole world auspicious, while the dancing of myriad feet made the earth tremble. Gauridas and others danced while carrying pots on their shoulders. Seeing their cowherd dress, who can sit quietly? Among them, Pundarik Vidyanidhi dances and snatches away butter, turmeric, milk, and yogurt. Those who saw the joking pastimes of Nitai, Advaita, Srivas, and others floated on the ocean of happiness and couldn't take their eyes away. Whether woman or man, everyone ran to see these pastimes standing inside the courtyard. Seeing the cowhead boy's form full of matchless sweetness, someone said, "What is this dancing golden treasure?" The demigods danced and rained down flowers, saying, you can repeat, all glories, all glories. Narahari danced in sheer delight. Srila Prabhupada ki. What a relief. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So, thank you very much for giving the opportunity that we can. No questions, sorry. No questions. Does everyone remember the verse that we started? Vina Radha Prasadena Krishna Mama Kripa Na Labhyate. So let's with our heart worship Srimati Radharani, that because she is the one who is offering all our services to the Lord. May she be pleased so that she thinks our service can be rendered to Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We have a small key. What is that? Bhajan. We'll have a bhajan now, and then Arati, then Prasadam. Hare Krishna.